Hi everyone, it's Chloe from Chloe's Creative Cards, and I want to show you today how to create a fabulous project using our gorgeous new geometric star die. This is part of the geometric Christmas range over at Chloe's Creative Cards, and it is a beautiful die set. It comes in 3 parts, so you can do lots and lots of different things with this. You can cut the aperture into your card, you can cut the geometric star out, and you can use your mats and layers as well. So there's loads that you can be doing with this die, and it is absolutely fabulous. We're going to be making quite a contemporary Christmas card with this today, but obviously if you wanted to make something more traditional, of course you would be able to do that as well. So to start with, what I've done is I've taken a piece of black card, and we're going to start by using the gorgeous geometric star die. So I've taken a piece of black card and I've covered it with a double-sided adhesive sheet. Now you can see that your geometric star die comes in 3 parts. So you've got your larger outer edge, you've then got the inner star, and then you've got your geometric star as well. So what that means is you can be using these in lots of different combinations. So on this black card, I'm going to cut out just the larger outer star. Okay, so I'm going to use a little bit of low tack tape just to hold my die in place, and I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine. So again, I'll link all of the products that I'm using in the comments below, and I will also add a link to the blog as well, which will contain all of your measurements for your mats and layers and everything like that. Okay, so I've just taped my die into place, and I'm going to run that through my die cutting machine. So I'm just going to pick that up. I'm using the Gemini today, so I'm just going to use the junior plates with this one. These dies will go through your A5 die cutting machines. So I'm going to run that through my machine like so. So that's just grabbing. Okay, and then when we take this out, you can see we've got that star beautifully die cut out of both the black card, and it's cut through the double-sided adhesive sheet as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take that away. I'm going to pop the plates to one side, and I'm going to take some white card. I'm going to take the smaller inner star and the geometric design into place on here. So I'm just going to place these down onto my card like so. So that looks spot on to me there. So that's just going to get taped into place, and then I'm just going to cut my star out so it'll fit on my die cutting plate. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take my design, and I'm going to just pop this through my Gemini machine again. So we're just going to run that through our die cutting machine like so. So we're just going to let that grab and run through. There we go. And then you can see when we pop this out, we've got the perfect little geometric star. So let me just lift that away from my card. And there we go. You can see that there. It is absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to pop this all to one side. And then what we're going to do is take our lovely star that we've got die cut with the double-sided adhesive sheet on, and we're going to peel the back off there, and then we're going to place this star over the top. So what I like to do is I always like to gently kind of place it where I think I want it to go. That looks about good to me, because obviously these double-sided adhesive sheets are very sticky, and when they grab, they fairly grab. So I also held on to the wax paper that was on the back of my double-sided adhesive sheet, and I'm just going to give that star a really good press down. What we're going to do now is grab in some scrap paper, and we're going to cover this with our beautiful Lumiere glitter. So the one that I'm using is Blackberry Medley, and hopefully you'll be able to see all the different colours that you get with this glitter. It is honestly amazing. So this like goes from a lovely teal to a rich purple. So I'm going to buff this into the double-sided adhesive sheet like so. And you can see how where we've got that star die cut out of the white card, it's resisting. Okay, because obviously that's not sticky. So when we lift this up and lift it away, I always like to just run my fingers around the edge as well, just to get rid of any kind of like larger pieces of glitter really. There we go. But you can see, can you see how when the light hits that Lumiere glitter, you get the colour shift. So it goes from purple to like a lovely teal blue colour. Honestly, when you get these home and start crafting with them, they are absolutely incredible. So I'm going to pop that to one side. I'm going to pop my glitter back into the little jar that I've got here. It's going to go straight back into there, like so. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to grab in my card blank and show you how we're going to start to build this card up. So I've got an 8x8 card blank here, and I've got a piece of our lovely silver glitter card. This is from our Christmas Sparkle 8x8 glitter card pad. Again, I'll link all of the products and all of the sizes for the mats and layers that I'm doing in the description below. So I'm going to stick that one down flat onto my card blank, and you can just see how that's just sticking into place. I do have a little bit of glitter on my fingers. Getting a little bit in the way there. There we go. And then I've taken a piece of matte silver mirror card and I've cut that down, and I've put some foam pads onto the back of there. So I'm going to quickly take the backs off of these like so. Cut all of my nails off really short the other day, so just catching them now is a little bit more tricky than normal. There we go. Right, so we're going to position that down onto our card blank like so. So you can see how our mats and layers are starting to come together. And then I've taken one of our beautiful new snowflake stencils. Now I was going to show you how to do this, but I actually ran out of paste. I've literally used all the little scraps that I had left in my jar. So what I've done is I've taken our sparkling snowflake stencil, which is a beautiful design for Christmas. I've taped it into place just onto some plain white card, and then I've used the Cosmic Shimmer Ultra Sparkle texture paste, and I've just pasted through. This is the Frosty Sparkle one. So you can see how when that dries, it gives you that lovely glittery effect on there. So we're going to, again, I've got foam pads on the back of here, and we're just going to take the backs off of these and then stick this down onto our card blank. So this is all going nicely into place now, and you can see how everything's coming together really nicely. Okay, so you can just see how we take the backs off of these. And then when we stick that down onto our card blank, you can see how beautiful all of that matting and layering is. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my lovely star and I'm going to stick this down straight in the middle of my card. So again, I'm going to use some foam pads to do this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a couple of foam pads on, but I'm going to do it like a double layer, so it really makes the star pop off the card. Take the backs off there. Okay, I'm going to put another one on there, and I'm going to put another one on there. So then, when we take the back off, you can see, just get rid of the excess glitter on there. You always get a little bit of excess sparkle, sorry. And when we position this down, middle of our card, that really makes that star lift and pop. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is we're going to use the Sprigs and Twigs Stamp and Die collection to create some fabulous foliage for the top of this star. So this is the Stamp and Die set that I'm going to be using. So again, this is one of the brand new ones. You're getting 5 stamps in here and 5 dies, and these designs are absolutely beautiful. This is the first time that we've actually done a foliage stamp and die set, but I really want to show you how to use these because they are fabulous. So what you're going to do is take some white card, and then I've taken 2 of the stamps from the set. Let me just find where I've buried them on my desk. Let me just have a look. Here we go. So I've taken 2 of the stamps from the set. So I've taken like the little spray and I've taken the little leaves. Okay, I've put them both onto my acrylic block. I'm going to give my card a little dust over with my anti-static bag, and I'm going to ink my stamps up using my Wow clear embossing ink pad. So I'm going to ink up my stamps like so, and then I'm going to place this down onto the white card and press. So you want firm even pressure all over the image. And then we're going to take our scrap paper. We're going to cover this with the metallic silver superfine embossing powder, and we're going to tap off the excess. This is going to go straight back into the jar, like so. And then we're going to heat these up. So what you're going to need to do for your finished project is you're going to need to do that 3 times. So you end up with 3 of the leaves and 3 of the little kind of berry type sprays. So I'm just going to heat these up now. So I'm just holding my heat gun still. And then as soon as that powder melts and changes, I'm just moving my heat gun over the image. Like so you can see how we've got those nicely heated up now. So what I'm going to do next is take the little corresponding dies, and we're going to stick these down into place with some low tack tape, ready to die cut these out. So I'm just going to grab a couple of bits of low tack. Just give me 2 seconds just to cut this off the low tack tape. So I'm going to pop the first die down and in place here, like so, and I'm going to do exactly the same with the second one. We're just going to pop that directly over the top, like so, and tape this down into place. Just make sure that everything's nice in place. I'm going to put an extra little bit on the bottom of that one as well. I always like to put 2 pieces of low tack tape onto my dies, just to make sure that they're nicely held in place when I run them through my die cutting machine. So what I'm going to do now is place this onto my plates for my Gemini. I'm going to trim that down just a little bit smaller to go through, and then we're going to run that through the die cutting machine like so. So just sandwich my plates together, and then we're going to run those through. Okay, while those are running through, I'm just going to get rid of all these little foam pad backs and pop those into the bin. Give me 2 seconds. I like to try and tidy a little bit as I go. Okay, so then when we take this foliage and remove it from the die, you can see it's beautifully die cut out. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in with my Art Glitter Dries Clear PVA glue. It's got that little metal tip on the end as well that you can of course buy to go on. It is honestly fabulous. I would 100% recommend that you go for that. And then we're just going to add a little bit of PVA glue just onto the leaves, like so. So I've kind of, all I've done basically is I've just like scribbled onto the leaves, okay? And then we're going to take our Sparkelicious glitter. So this one is Starlit Sky that I'm using, and you can just see how we've added all of that sparkle onto the leaves there. Okay, and what I'm going to do with the other one, which is this one here, is you can see how it's got like little like berries and dots on the ends of the kind of twigs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some self-adhesive jewels. So I've got some of those here, and I'm just going to start to position these onto the little ends of the twigs. So that one there. So we're just going to work our way around like so. Okay, and then you can see how we've got all of that bling and sparkle onto there. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab in my base card, and we're going to start to build the foliage up at the top of the star. So what I've done already is I've tied a bow just with some ribbon to go at the top of the star here. So to stick this on, again, I'm just going to use my Collal 3D glue gel to do this. Mine was blocked, so what I've done is cut the end off the tube. Just put a bit of glue gel onto the back of there. And then we're going to stick that down onto the top of the star. Now, actually, looking at this, what I should have done when I positioned my star is it should have been a little bit lower down. Okay, so I'm just going to manoeuvre that along a little bit. So we're going to stick that bow on the top there. Then I've got 3 of the little leaf sprays and 3 of the little berry sprays that have already dried. So what I then like to do is, with the leaf one, I like to cut between these leaves at the top, like so. And then you can just use your fingers just to bend. Can you see how you can just bend the little leaves, just to give them a little bit of shape? I like to cut that point off as well. But you can see how you can just work your way around, pinching the leaves. I'm going to take the end off of there. I'm going to put a little bit of glue gel into the back. I'm going to just pinch these leaves as well. So I'm just going to work my way around, pinching the leaves like so. Okay, and then we're going to do exactly the same. This one over here. So we're just kind of starting to build this up, and then you can snip into the leaves as well, like so, and just take little parts off. So you can like start to just build this up into the star, which is what I love to do. So I'm going to tuck a tiny bit in there, and then I'm going to put another little piece just, where should we go? Bring them around a little bit. And this is the thing with your 3D glue gel, because it doesn't dry instantly, it gives you that little bit of time to kind of just play around with these and maneuver them a little bit. So I'm going to just pinch these little leaves again, and I'm going to stick this one just in the top there, I think. I'll cut the end off of there. It's going to go in like so. So you can see how that's starting to come together there now, really, really nicely. And I'm going to start and take some of these little kind of more blingy twigs, I guess, and tuck these in. So I'm going to cut those ones off at the bottom, so we've got like a shorter piece. And what I tend to do in my craft room at home is I'll have a day where I just sit and stamp like a load of foliage, and then I'll just keep it all in a little box. And then what I tend to find is when I'm kind of crafting away and I think, oh, that just needs something, I just reach into there and just grab a little bit out and just use that on my project. So I'm going to tuck another little piece into here. So kind of just building this foliage up around the bow at the top. So pop another little bit at the top there as well. Just start to tuck all of these in, but because you're using your 3D glue gel as well, you can really build in and gain a lot of dimension with these. So that's then going to go into here, but you can see how that's building up absolutely beautifully. Okay, so what I'm then going to do is I've got a little jewel to go in the middle of the bow. I'm going to pop that in the top here. So this then gives it like more of a bauble kind of look to this project. What I'm then going to do is I've got my self-adhesive jewels. So I'm going to start to add these into the corners. So I'm going to go 3 in each corner, like so. So I'm just going to work my way around, adding my little jewels under here like so. And then just along the bottom here as well. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to go in, and what I like to do is dot some in and around the star. So I basically just go in and randomly start to add a few jewels. Now what looks really, really cool as well is if you kind of start with some larger jewels towards the actual star. Like so. So kind of just dot these in. Okay, so just going to work round, adding these little jewels just into the background like so. So I'm adding those in, and I'm going to take some smaller ones as well and just start to dot these in too. So then it kind of looks like the stars popping out of the page. which I think gives it a really nice look to your project. But of course, you could imagine if you changed your colours up with this one and did it more in kind of reds and golds, it will give you more of a traditional look. You'll maybe add a few poinsettias on as well. So whereas I've gone quite kind of contemporary with this particular project, of course you could make it a little bit more traditional too if you wanted to. So I'm going to add these little jewels in, just in and around the star, like so, and just build these up, adding them in. There we go. Okay, and you can see I get really carried away now, as you can tell. But you can see what a difference that then starts to make to your project. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to use one of our fabulous sentiment builder stamps. So I'm going to use the Christmas one, and we're going to pop Christmas across the middle of that star. So again, I'm going to grab in a little bit of white card, give it a dust with an anti-static bag. I'm going to take my stamp that's on my acrylic block. I'm going to ink it up with my clear embossing ink pad. I'm going to place that down and press again, like so. And then we're going to grab in our scrap paper. We're going to cover that with the metallic silver super fine embossing powder, like so. Any excess is going to go straight back into the jar. Okay, and then we're going to heat this up. So we're going to use our heat gun, and again just holding that heat gun still until you see that embossing powder start to melt and change, and as soon as you do, we're going to move that heat gun over the image like so. There we go, and you can just see how that then gives you that lovely metallic-y silver effect on the words there. So what we're now going to do is we're going to grab in our sentiment builder die. So I'm going to take the outline of Christmas, I'm going to pop that over the top. I'm going to grab a little bit of low tack tape just to position that into place again. So we're going to pop that down like so, tape there, and then we're going to run that through our die cutting machine. So to do that, I'm just going to grab my plates again. I'm just using my Gemini. I'm going to pop that on there and run it through. There we go. So that's just nicely die cutting out now. When we grab that in, you will see how we've got that lovely border just around the edge of the Christmas there. So that's really going to ping and pop when we pop it against the star. So what I'm going to do is pop that across the middle like so. So to do that, I'm going to use a little foam pad. So I'm going to cut just a couple of strips off my foam pads, because my foam pads that I use are quite large. So what I like to do is just cut a little piece off, just to make sure. I'm going to pop that in the middle across the centre of the star. And what I also like to do is I like to take a little jewel, just to add that in for the eye. Perhaps a slightly smaller one would be better. Add that in for the eye on Christmas, and then you can see that would be your finished project. So I really hope that you've enjoyed today's video tutorial. If so, please do subscribe to the channel and have a little look at all the other videos that we've got on here, because we have got loads of different ideas and inspiration on the channel for you. If you have a little look in the description below, I've listed all of the products that I've used, and there's also a link to the blog post that contains any measurements that you need for your mats and layers. If you like the look of all of these fabulous goodies that I've been showing you, please do hop over to the website, which is www.chloescreativecards.co.uk, and have a look at all of the crafty goodness that we've got.